In recent years, the Australian automotive manufacturing industry has undergone significant changes, impacting its economic standing within the global economy. This has occurred due to recent closures from Australia's leading manufacturers, including Holden, Toyota and Ford. Throughout this presentation, we'll discuss the economic reasoning and impacts of these closures. The current Australian automotive industry represents an oligopoly market structure. That is, a market with a small number of dominant firms and homogeneous or differentiated products. This oligopolistic market structure can be seen due to the recent closures of Ford, Toyota and Holden. With Ford announcing its closure first, Holden and Toyota were forced to exit the market to maintain the competitive edge. This interdependency of firms demonstrates an oligopoly market structure.
The Australian automotive industry does not experience economies of scale. This is a property whereby the long-run average total cost decreases as the quantity of output increases. In 2012, both Holden and Ford manufactured 120,000 vehicles collectively. In order to achieve economies of scale, each company within the industry would need to reach a production level of over 250,000 vehicles per year, according to a report published by AAMI themselves in 2014. When analysing Figure A, a long-run average total cost curve example, with the data available on the Australian car manufacturing industry, we can assume that the Australian automotive companies are producing at a quantity lesser than Q1, where the curve hypothetically does not slope downwards, representing economies of scale. In order to achieve economies of scale, companies within the industry would need to be producing between Q1 and Q3.
There were many contributing economic factors, each having their own weight and effect on the AAMI collapse. A major reason for the closure was extremely slow growth rate for the domestic industry, which was forecast at 0.8% at 2014 to 2017. Even more concerning was the projected growth rate of the industry from 2017 to 2022 at 0.4%. Another reason was the sheer size of the domestic industry just couldn't compete with its 0.25% global market share. It couldn't compete due to the rising demand for cheaper imported vehicles, and these cars were produced at a much lower cost through cheaper labour and materials. As the graph demonstrates, a shift in supply to the left, which drives price up and reduces overall quantity the domestic market could produce. Other key factors were the strong trending Australian dollar and the combination of the removal of tariffs endorsed importers to purchase overseas. The closure will directly affect price of cars and parts in Australia, which driving the price even lower with an increase in supply due to more.
Industries such as professional, scientific and technology service sectors would be greatly affected by the closure, as this sector currently employs more than 1 million people, or about 8.5% of the total workforce. The PSTS supply accessories and components to manufacturers and is responsible for scientific research, engineering, computer systems, research and development, and much more. With the collapse of the motor vehicle industry, it has greatly impacted its valuability of the industry and has cut its labour force by 10% across various range of branches. With Ford, Toyota and Holden moving their research and development activities closer to their manufacturing centres after shutting down the Australian plant, Australia's car components supply industry and its engineering capability will not survive due to this outcome. Particularly with the collapse of the motor industry, which happens to cause other industries such as Commonwealth Scientific and Industry Research Organisation CSIRO to lose 10% of its staff already during the budget cut with the organisation. Therefore, with many technology-intensive industries and other industries remaining, the absence of car manufacturing companies will greatly affect how each industry manages to upkeep their performance and the decisions to make critical judgment on its activities. This table here shows the absence of motor vehicles industry effect on labour in the industry above.